So what I've learned from my last romantic relationship this year was that you cannot build with an emotional immature person. I mean, I knew this, but when you love somebody, you try, especially as a woman. We love to see men's potential. Men see women's who they are at the moment, and women see men's potential. You cannot do that, right? And you can't force people into a spiritual journey, a healing journey. You can't force people to grow. And one thing I realized is that this person was overcompensating. Anytime you feel like somebody's overcompensating in one area, and this person will overcompensate in gift giving and money and acts of service, because people who are emotionally immature, they know. Even narcissists are children internally. They know the differences. This is why they mimic other people's maturity. They take people's personality, right? So people who are emotionally immature, they're fully aware who they are. They know that. But doing the work, doing the healing work and maturing is too traumatic for them for whatever reason. Something they probably went through in their childhood, or they're just lazy emotionally, right? So getting a degree is easier for them. Being a stallion in the bedroom is easier for them. Being good looking is easier for them. Them giving money away, them paying for things, them being a people pleaser. They'll do anything but actually do the internal work. So the reason why people overlook these things is because we're taught since we were children. For example, if a man has a good job, a car, a house, a career, he has all his basic needs, which is what he should have anyway, then he's a good catch, right? So you tend to overlook all these other flaws in that person. And then if he's overcompensating with money, and we're living in this sprinkle type of society, you overlook that this person is emotionally immature. Also, you don't find out that this person is emotionally immature until you actually get into an argument or a misunderstanding, or you need to have an adult conversation with them, or something happened. Maybe you're in a financial crisis, or maybe somebody died, or maybe something happened on your job. They cannot handle these type of adult situations, and you start to see that. And that was something I realized emotionally, maturity wise, I'm like an elderly person sitting in a rocking chair on a porch, where my ex was more like a 5-year-old little boy. You cannot build with somebody who is a child emotionally. And a lot of you women, y'all go and have children with men like this. And this actually happened to my mom, where my dad on paper looked like the perfect guy to marry. He was a correction officer. He owned a car wash. He was popular. He had status. He had money. He had investments. He had cars. He had all these things going for himself. He knew how to court her. He knew how to wine and dine her. But it wasn't until she married him and she was living with him where she realized, oh my gosh, this man is emotionally immature, that anytime they had an adult conversation, he would disappear from the house for 2 days and go to his mother's house. So you cannot build with people who are childlike emotionally. The relationship goes nowhere. And this is why you'll be like, oh my gosh, this person seems like a good catch. Why do they keep getting left? Every woman leaves them. Every man leaves them. And what I realized through the years, when my ex and I parted, he went after like women who were like homeless, or women who were like mentally ill, or women who had a lot going on, and he had to like be in a situation to where he can save them. And I was just like, why is he going after these women? Because they already know those are the only kind of people that they probably would be able to maintain a relationship with. People who seem far out worse than them. Okay? And that is my lesson. And that is my advice to you. No matter how good they look on paper, no matter how good they're in the bedroom, no matter how fine they are, If they are a child emotionally, if they are a child when it comes to intelligence, emotional intelligence, you cannot date them. You cannot build with them. The relationship will not grow. You would end up nurturing them as if you're their mother, as if you're their father. You will end up being like more like a mentor to them. And after a while, they start to despise you. You know, my ex started to despise me because he couldn't even take accountability for small things. Another thing, these people are very defensive because they know they lack. They know they have an expiration date coming. They know they cannot keep a person like you who is on point, who did their healing work, you know, who is aware of their spiritual gifts, who is self-aware. They know an expiration date is coming. So they start to get angry with you and despise you and talk to you crazy and mistreat you and sabotage the relationship because they know you're figuring them out. And this is something that I experienced with my ex. After a while, he couldn't keep up. So he started to sabotage the relationship in order for me to break apart. So don't do it. I don't care how good people look on paper. If they have not done their healing work, if they're a child emotionally, you cannot build with them.